So when I'm leading seminars or talking to people about iPhone photography, I am constantly amazed at how few people know about all the tools that are hidden in the iPhone camera menu. So because of that, I thought I'd take a moment and walk you through the menu. Caveat is that I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max right here. Most of the tools are what you'd find on the 13 and the 12. If you have an earlier phone, might be a little similar, maybe not totally exactly the same, but you get the idea. Let's start by clicking open the camera app, going to photo and looking for that little arrow in the middle of the top of the screen. From there, you will see a whole lot of options. The first one is flash. I recommend leaving it off because people look like they're lit by a blowtorch with it. It's not very good. You can always get lighting or use a friend's iPhone in the flashlight app would look a lot better. The second tool is called night mode, and this will drive you crazy because it's automatic. It only shows up in the dark, and it allows you to take longer exposure photos. You could even shoot the night skies with it, but again, it only comes out when it's dark, when Apple decides that it's time for night mode. Next up is live photos. I say leave it on. This started as a gimmick to give you a few extra seconds of video with each photo, and that's cool. It's the special effects that are even better. I can make cars disappear, I can make people disappear, and I can make waves look flowy and beautiful with just taking a picture. I mean, it's great. And now a quick word from our sponsor, SmugMug. If you're not up on SmugMug, 4 quick bullet points. Let's start with A, automatic backup. I'm here in Japan. I am shooting thousands of images on the mobile phone that are being backed up seamlessly to the SmugMug app on iOS and Android. I also back up all my images to SmugMug, serves as a virtual hard drive. B, sharing without big tech getting involved and lowering the resolution of your photos as many of the companies do. C, showing your online portfolio, whether you're an amateur or a pro, you would like to have your photo gallery looking really beautiful. I have my websites on SmugMug, all my galleries are there as well. And of course, D, for pros or would-be pros, selling your prints via SmugMug, really easy to do. SmugMug has a free 2-week trial. Give them a try at smugmug.com. Is aspect ratio to a whole bunch of numbers. What's a 4:3? What's a 16:9? What's a square? Well, I think we all know what a square is. That was the format that Instagram used to use, and it looks really great. 4:3 is how we used to watch televisions on the boob tube before we went to 16:9, widescreen. I think 16:9 looks really great on your iPhone screen. The standard is 4:3. The great thing about these phones is that you could take a picture in 16:9 and then edit it to 4:3 afterwards, or move it to square, or even take it in square and move it to 16:9 afterwards. You can, in other words, you can change the aspect ratio after the fact, and it's really easy to do. Next up is a very important tool, exposure control. The great thing about the iPhones is that the pictures are perfect. The bad news is it's not always perfect. Sometimes it's wrong. For instance, if you were going to go into a church and take a picture of a stained glass window, the iPhone will try to take a really exposed for the wall and the window, and you just want the window, you want to make it a lot darker. So you open it up and you have the option of going up 2 stops or down 2 stops. In other words, make it lighter, make it darker. And I highly recommend it. You can also pinch the screen to do it, but it's more effective to use the exposure control here. Next up, another very important tool, the timer. I use the timer all the time for selfies or for group shots. It's very awkward to be out there with your arm, and it's a little hard to get your finger on there and to compose all at the right time. With the selfie timer, you get 3 seconds, too short, or 10 seconds. A little long, but it does the trick because it gives you the time to compose your shot and get it right. After your timer, you have filters, and you have a whole bunch of them: original, vivid, vivid warm, vivid cool, and the last 3, mono, Silvertone, and Noir. Now, anybody who loves photography loves black and white. Anybody who looks on the iPhone for how to take a black and white shot will be thrown off because there's no tool in here that actually says black and white. These filters will give you black and white. The other option is in the edit menu to go in and kill the saturation and go all the way down. That's another option. You can use these tools, or you could actually do all the editing afterwards and get all those same effects. That's the way I like to do it. And then finally, we have RAW. And that's where you're shooting an unprocessed image. It has way more detail, way more resolution. If you have the iPhone 14 Pro, you get to shoot 48 megapixel photos, but only if you're shooting RAW. And so they're way bigger than the regular 12 megapixel photo. The downside, well, the good side is that you have a lot more information. You have a much higher resolution. The downside is the file is giant. So I recommend shooting RAW sparingly, or else you'll be out of room and getting those nag messages anytime. That is the camera menu. Feel smarter now? I hope you'll run out and take some cool photos now that you know about some of these great tools. Questions? Please leave them in the comments below. Do me a favor and stay tuned to the Photowalks TV channel for more travel and photo tips. I'm Jefferson Graham, and I'll see you on the next Photowalk.